Today we are going to plant AGAPANTHUS flowers. AGAPANTHUS is a plant native to the southern African area from Central Africa downwards. It is a plant that does very well in humid and slightly warm environments, but it is very resistant because it is a plant that practically becomes a little invasive wherever it is. Dried flower, if you observe, it's completely full of black stuff. That black stuff is the seed of agaphate. I don't know if I've dropped any already. What you see here is just having the flower in the bag. A lot of seeds fell and I'm going to remove them. Now look at the seed itself. It's inside a kind of black pod. They are a kind of wrapper where the seed is inside. We are going to sow the seed in a seed bed. You see AGAPANTHUS on the street with a flower like that. Hold one. Bag cuts the flower. No one is going to tell you anything. A seed bed. I'm going to plant a lot because my idea is to put a line of AGAPANTHUS on my mother's farm. So a large seed bed is worth 4 and 4 and 10 460 seed bed cells. What I have to do is separate the species from them. Low. That houses the seed of the pot, which is purely the seed, which is this, in this case, in this brown thing. Look how it is there. 3, 4 seeds. We removed all that a little bit. There's not much science to this either. I am going to dedicate this video to 2 people who live in the Coron area in Galicia. In this flower there are a lot of seeds left. We are going to sow, and to sow we need 2 tools, very advanced. A chopstick for eating Chinese food and a water atomizer. I make you the plan so that you can see the earth. Look, what you do is put the seeds in each alveolus. This is a little long process. If 2 seeds fall, nothing happens. Another, I think that in some 2 are falling. Let me do this a little faster. Let me see if I can put the fast camera on you so you can see it, and that's it. Remember that this is a flower kept for months, dry. If you keep dried flowers to get seeds that don't have a lot of moisture, don't give them direct light. Okay? With a Chinese toothpick, what you do is bury the seeds underground. That they stay a little bit together, I promise you that nothing will happen, that there won't be any left to buried. Nothing happens either because this plant, when the seeds fall in the planter on the street where they are or in your garden, ends up germinating anyway, simply by a twig of something falling on it. It already receives the humidity and darkness necessary to germinate. You will have it for a few days, a little hidden from the direct sun when they start to sprout, if you are able to give them. Irrigation diary. You can have it in the sun a little bit. Next step, with a spray atomizer. You moisten everything, the entire seed bed has to be well wet, and you have to control the humidity. Yes, it can be every day, and we take this outside, and then I'll explain to you how they germinate. Let's plant an AGAPANTHUS on my street next to a dumpster.
It always bothers me that cars pass by to complain today.
The AGAPANTHUS germinated. The truth is that it sprouted super well, and you see that well. You don't see anything because I didn't show it to you before. I didn't do anything at all. I left them on the terrace outside, and I can show you a little what the AGAPANTHUS root is like so you can see how strong it is. That's because this plant is designed to adapt and persist. I think it's been here for about 8 months, okay? And I'm going to plant them on the street. I'm going to plant a geranium lemon. I'm going to stick a cut of geranium lemon to make the pot a little good. I'm going to add a little fertilizer, a worm mousse. I'm going to put a few AGAPANTHUS there, and that's it. That's going to deal with a little bit of that. This video segment, all you have to do is have a little fertile land. It doesn't seem right to me to have a super poor land. It is impoverished total. Look, I can tell you that there are even gravel stones. There are stones that people have thrown here or that a tile has broken, such as this side broke. The tile then. I have a countryman here. What am I going to do here? Have you ever planted sprouted lavender cuttings?
They vanish because you can't fool them.
I'll clean this up and we'll be back. The gel in the lemon is going to sprout again. It's a super noble plant. This is a sack of worm fumes. I'm going to put like 8 or 10 handfuls in here. So on the earth, I'm going to stir the earth a little, make it a little soft and spongy, and that's how I'm going to put it. The AGAPANTHUS persepelon, okay, it is in the seed bed. The land is very well taken care of. The land in Cabo is very poor. There is garbage, there is everything, remains of glass, bottles from town festivals. Well, that's what it is. Okay, and here I'm going to put worm humus. Look what Rico is. Super cool earthworm humus from here near a company near my house called Ecokelta there. With 2 hands, about 8 handfuls. With this mixture, at least the earth ends up having a certain balance. Worm humus rebalances any soil you have depleted. Okay? No.
I know I'm going to have to put up a little sign later to say, hey, be careful, what's there, Dupantos here, don't go to me.
The Agapanthus, being a seedbed, has a very well-formed root, just making the shape of the seedbed. Look how beautiful you see, whiter, healthier roots. It's a very noble plant, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Look how beautiful the root is, super healthy. And now I'm going to talk to you about something that I use to fertilize, which regenerates roots very well and promotes root development. I'm in autumn right now in the month of November in Vigo. Okay, we're on November 3rd. You can use any fertilizer. This stimulates the formation of rhizobium in the roots. Okay, it is a stimulator of root formation. A biomass is super cool. In the watering, can I put the recommended dose, which is 4 ml per liter? I'm going to calculate. Let me see. Since there are about 8L this, I'm going to put there were 25, a little more. There this first watering, especially if it doesn't rain. We are spending a few sunny days here. It is very important because if it doesn't rain these days, and I have them freshly planted, although I already tell you that it is a very noble plant, it may have problems rooting. That is why I am throwing this rooting helper. I already know that I am fertilizing a plant that is on my street, but guys, if I don't take care of them here, don't believe that anyone comes from the city hall or anything. Give a hand, man. If you see a leaf on my mother, she always scolds me. If you see it too dry, pour water on it. If you see it too dry, pour water on it. Well, look, Mom, there I am. And now I can tell you where you can do the same thing and where you can plant them, because this adapts to almost everything. Next to this container on my street. They're planted. Okay, where could you plant Agapanthus? In areas very exposed to the sun or in areas that have a kind of semi-shade. Now at this time, more than autumn, winter gives them a little sun. In the mornings, there is an avenue of trees that will lose their leaves, so they will have more sun during the winter days. It's sunny, you should do that from time to time. I recommend that you put some flower fertilizer on it, because one thing is that this land is very poor. I know that here. This earthworm humus will no longer exist in about 2 months because it will be processed with the soil. The plant is going to take it out and absorb it. So I have to put in a flower fertilizer, maybe also a fertilizer to promote the formation of new leaves, because you know that the Agapanthus forms like a plume of leaves. I have to thank the person who donated the dried flower that rose. Thank you very much and nothing more. Did I post you a lot of photos throughout the video, of what the Agapanthus are like? What is a plant with a wonderful flower? There are more blue, more white colors. I like the combination of both, actually. This one is blue, and what I would be cool with would even be to combine a little with the white flower ones because it stays. Superb. Others in my garden, in the olive tree area surely, and the others for my mothers, because this plant here, at least where I live in Galicia, here there are good rains. When the sun has to press, it presses. When it has to make sun, it's sunny. Meanwhile, frost isn't much of a concern. Everything works because they are planting on the streets because it is very cheap to maintain with this, to plant things on the street. Watch a video of how I made lavender cuttings on my street, how to make a jade tree from leaves. I'm going to leave you here a little square with a link for N20M memberships. Okay, I have launched being a member of the channel so that you can support me directly. Okay, in addition to your free subscription, see you in the next video you watch on this channel.